The lessons you don't learn in school. Some of the most important lessons in life don't come from classrooms. They come from quiet afternoons, from old streets, from a father standing beside his son. A father doesn't teach with formulas. He doesn't teach with spreadsheets. He teaches by showing his child how to see the world differently. Because in business, people don't fail because they lack money. They fail because they misunderstand value. Today, a father shares 3 stories with his son, 3 lessons, 3 ways to recognize opportunity, where most people only see neglect. The father and the lesson from the abandoned land. 2 generations stood side by side, facing a plot of land overgrown with wild grass. The son asked, "Dad, this land is completely abandoned. Why do people say the owner is wealthy?" The father smiled. "Because you only see land. I see cash flow." The story. The man bought a piece of land valued at $10 billion, but because the previous owner needed money urgently, he paid only $4 billion. He didn't build anything. He didn't resell it. He did just 3 things. He used the land as collateral and borrowed $6 billion from the bank. He paid back the $4 billion purchase price. He was left with $2 billion in cash. Then he leased the land to a logistics company to use as a temporary warehouse. The rental income was enough to cover the bank interest. The father turned to his son and said, "Do you see it now? He didn't buy the land with his own money. He bought it with the value of the land itself." The father's lesson. In business, don't ask how much money you have. Ask what valuable asset you're standing on. The father and the lesson from the small coffee shop. The father and son sat inside a small corner cafe. The space was modest, the furniture worn, yet customers came and went without pause. The son looked around and said, "Dad, the place is tiny, but it's always full. The owner must be making a lot of money." The father took a slow sip of his coffee and replied, "Profit isn't in the cup." The owner didn't have much capital at the beginning. He could only afford to open one small cafe. Instead of borrowing to expand, he focused on making that single location consistently busy. He carefully recorded everything: daily revenue, peak hours, best-selling items, operating costs. Every number was documented, not to impress, but to prove consistency. Once the cafe was stable, he took those records to potential investors. He didn't ask for money. He presented a tested model. The investors didn't buy the cafe. They bought trust in the system. New locations were opened with the partner's capital. He kept the brand, the recipes, and earned a percentage of monthly revenue. He didn't expand with his own money, but with proven value. The father turned to his son and said, "He didn't borrow money. He borrowed trust." Then he added, "In business, data and credibility are often worth more than cash." The father and the lesson from the old factory. The father and son walked past an old factory, its walls peeling, its metal doors rusted, looking long forgotten. The son frowned and asked, "Dad, this place is falling apart. What's the point of buying it?" The father smiled. "You see its condition. I see its function." The factory once belonged to a failing company. On paper, it had high value, but no one wanted it due to debt and complicated legal issues. One man stepped in and acquired it at a price far below its true worth. He didn't renovate immediately. Instead, he divided the space and leased it to small manufacturing workshops that desperately needed affordable space. Each lease was short-term and flexible, but together they formed a steady cash flow. That cash flow covered interest payments, maintenance, and gradually reduced the debt. Once the factory had a consistent income history, its value was reassessed. It was no longer an old factory, but an income-generating asset. The father turned to his son and said calmly, "Value isn't in appearance. It's in the ability to generate cash flow." He concluded, "In business, the winner is the one who sees function before others see beauty." Closing. The father's final lesson. The father stopped and looked at his son. Most people ask, "How do I make money?" Wise people ask, "Where is the money already sitting? And why isn't it flowing to me?" He continued, "You don't need to start with a lot of capital. You need to start with the right perspective. In business, don't ask how much money you have. Ask what valuable asset you're standing on and whether it can pay for itself." These are lessons I didn't learn from books. I learned them from life. And now, I pass them on to you.